Hello, Beez Bladers. Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. I've got a brand new Trivisa to share with you guys and gals today. And you know what? It was by popular demand. I showed this one. This is the Trivisa Lynx, and I really like the build and quality of this one. And I saw the other one on Amazon, and I was thinking about it, and folks were like, are you going to check it out? You going to check it out? You going to check it out? Oh yeah, I'm going to check it out. It's right here. So first I have to say thank you to my channel members. Thank you patrons, and thank you... I got to figure out how to unbox a box. And thank you, subscribers. You guys are all freaking amazing. You're making this so much fun. I love the interaction. And oh, wow. Okay. So, oh my goodness. I can't wait to see it. So this one comes with a very nice, what do you call that? Micro suede cloth. That's very nice. You get a nice, what you call it? Insert thingy there. And one of these felt type, thingies to put it in, thingies and doodads, we'll just make up the words as we go along. And this nice case, very nice box. I have to say, I've opened a lot of knives and some of them have some, chintzy boxes. That's a heavy duty one. So, oh yeah, you ready? Look at that. Would you look at it? That is sweet. Oh, mama. This is the Trivisa Mensae, and I looked it up. It's Mensae. And it's part of a constellation or a star in a constellation. Because I was curious. I always try to look up and see what they mean. And I'm going to go ahead and take this dude off. Here's the card that comes with it. And apparently it passed. Well, how about that? So there's this side. And there's two options. You can get the blue and black or the red and black. And, I can't get everything in red and black. And I really wanted to see what this blue looks like. And I'm not disappointed. I like it. It looks really good. Man, check that out. And the holes in the clip go with the holes. Are you ready to see this blade? I know I am. I'm just giving you a good look all around because I might not get back to it. It has some big jimping, but, oh, okay. All right, we'll see how that feels. It doesn't feel too bad. Sometimes the big jimping doesn't really help me out. Big old lanyard hole, and it is not reversible. We'll check out the pocket clip here in just a minute, but let's get this blade. Are you ready? Pow, right in the kisser. Oh, yeah. Okay, now we're talking. Would you look at it? That is what I'm talking about. Oh, my goodness. Yes, absolutely yes. Oh, my gosh. And check that out. 154 cm. I love me some 154 cm. And wow, does it come to a point. So I'm wondering if that's a theme with them. I love the ones that come to a point. Not every knife I have has to be a work knife for prying stuff. I like ones that for opening packages and doing fine cutting and doing utility work. And this one is definitely going to be a utility cutter for sure. Nice. Wow, that grind just goes shoop, comes straight down. Let me go wipe it off. Okay, now we can get up nice and close and personal and check it out. Now look at that. Wow. Has an excellent finish. Oh, mama. It has, what do you call those, speed holes? I'm curious if I'll be able to reverse flick. Maybe. I'm going to try it. But nice and clean, no billboarding. Okay, Trivisa, they are really catching my attention. Check out this blue and black Damascus. And as far as texture, it doesn't have much texture to speak of. But these holes actually give you good texture. Okay, I'm digging it. It is really cool looking. And there you have a big old spot for a lanyard, T6s and T8 over here. Here's this side. Look how clean. I like how clean. No billboarding. Just telling me what the steel is, and I always appreciate that. Oh, yes. I am liking it. I am going to take it apart so we can see what it looks like on the inside, but first I got to weigh it. And, well, you know what? It feels just like the Manix 2. I'm going to go with 4.9, and it is 4.93. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, we're going to check out all the fun stuff and take it apart. And first, I'm going to give you the specs in 60 seconds. Are you ready? Are you set? So from tip to tip, you're 7.78 inches. You have 154 cm blade steel, Warncliffe blade, satin finish. Your total blade length 3.14 inches. Your sharpened blade length 3.08 inches. Your blade width 1.28 inches. Your blade stock thickness is 139 thousandths of an inch. 15 thousandths behind the edge, not too bad. Your handle material is a very nice Damascus. Your closed length from tip to tip is 4.66 inches. Your handle width, 0.92 inches. Closed at the top here, right at this peak, 1.85 inches. Your handle thickness is 0.53 inches. You have a flipper for opening, and we're going to see what's in the pivot because we're going to take it apart. It's a liner lock, and you have a T8 for the body, T6 everywhere else, and this is the Mensae-03Bb. Now, at the time of this posting, these run, I think, on Amazon around 70, 71 bucks. I will have links in the description to every knife that you see in this video. All the stuff I use, I have 10% off the White Mountain knives, Lancelot leather, KPL knife pivot lube, and on and on and on. It's all in the description of every video. So let's see what this edge will do right out of the box. Ooh. Oh. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. It is shaving that paper. Yeah, baby. And are we centered? Oh my goodness, the action on this thing, you gotta be kidding me. We're dead centered, and talk about a good handle to blade ratio. It's nice and smooth. I like the way that flows. And what's our lockup? Lockup is, I'd say we're about 40%, and solid as a rock. No up and down, no left or right blade play. That is excellent. And how are we doing in and out of the pocket? Oh yeah, nice and comfortable. No grab like you don't want. Really nice in the pocket. There's your deep carry pocket clip. Pretty deep carry. I mean, you've got this part here, so I don't know. Would you still call it a deep carry? You do have a couple mushrooms growing in the shade right there, but they did not snag or grab because the the pocket clip itself is actually inset. That makes a huge difference as to whether it grabs or not. And look at that. Look at that back spacer. This stuff is awesome. I am just in awe here. Looking all the way around, have some jimping. I love jimping on the flipper tab. Always appreciate that. Oh, you know it's going to look good on the inside. Let's do some quick size comparisons, then we'll get to the action and the ergos. So here's the Ontario Rat #1, and here's the Trivisa Lynx 03, the QSP Penguin, and the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Now you're getting an idea of what we're looking at. Man, this is, oh, it is so nice. I can't wait to check it out. Some more. Here's the Concept Main Street. I have to get me some more Wharncliffe blades, without a doubt. Here's the CJRB Crag. So a lot of folks have this one. This is a nice budget knife. So there's those two, and let's do a couple more. Here's the CJRB Caldera and the Kubi Monster Dog. And last but not least, the Kubi KU322 and the KIZER Sheepdog non-flipper. So if you have a sheepdog, you definitely know how big or small this knife is in comparison to your hand size. And one more thing, here's the width of it compared to the QS Penguin. So, does have some width on the Penguin. Not too bad. Now let's check into action and the ergos. Don't forget, speaking of action, to take action. And if you're supporting the channel and you like this knife content, or you like my knife content, or you like knife content in general, make sure you hit the thumbs up and support the channel. And don't forget, if you're not subscribed, you gotta subscribe. Hit that bell button, and right above the bell button, hit the all. If you don't, you'll miss what's coming up next on Beez Blades, right? So let's try the old push button. Pow, right in the kisser. Oh man, this thing has action, and look at this. It is drop shut. Drop shut. Oh, yes. I love it. Oh, this thing is droppy, drop. Oh, my goodness. Left-handed. Nice pass-through. Oh, yes. Look, this thing is so smooth right out of the box. I mean, wow. It doesn't need cleaned. It doesn't need lubed, or it doesn't even need anything. This thing is just ready to go. Super sharp. Now, can I reverse flick it with this little hole? Yes! Okay, we have more than one. You know what? It's surprisingly easy. I'm putting my finger in that middle hole, and there's enough grip for the end of my finger, just my fingernail. Pow! Right in the kisser. Yes, love it. How about ergos? My hand is 4 inches from here to here, 3.5 from here to here, and from the bottom of my palm to the tip of my middle finger, 7.25. Oh, wow, that is snappy. And what's the ergos like? So this dude right here is kind of hitting me right in my pinky finger. But if you hold it back here, okay, so I'm seeing in the classic grip back here like this, if you're holding it back farther, that's going to be comfortable. But I'm not big on places that force my fingers into an area. So if I'm really gripping in on it, it's not bothering me, but I wish this was either flattened out or farther back, a little bit longer. But that's just my hand size. So it depends on what size your hand is. But the grip is really good. And oh my goodness, utility cutting all day long. Look at the tip on this thing. Look at just the tip. And it comes down to a nice fine point too, but it's still strong. It's not a weak tip, if that makes any sense. Man, I'm loving the looks of this thing. And the jimping, let me give you a good look here. That is the kind of jimping I like as far as grabbiness. It's not aggressive, but it grabs your skin like, eat. I really enjoy that jimping. That is some good stuff. Maybe give me 1 or 2 more so I can really stretch my thumb out. If you're gonna give me jimping, give me enough to really stretch my thumb out. Now I'm choking up. You could do the little, for a little bit of slicey, swing, a little swingy. You could put your finger up here, but I wouldn't call that a choil. And as far as sharpening, you do have some sharpening before you get to the plunge grind. I'd say, yeah, you have quite a bit of sharpening to go. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be safe. But it's comfortable. I would say if I have any gripes or hot spots, it would definitely be this hump right here. Just for my hand, personally, I wish it was farther back. Other than that, holding it back here is comfortable. And how about that? Now that is very comfortable. The reverse grip, reverse. But all in all, you know what? I'll give you a final impression once we do the disassembly. But man, it pops out the switch. Look at that. Light switch. And oh my goodness, the action on this thing is phenomenal. All right, let's go ahead and take it apart. And we're at the table, and I have to remember that sometimes I skip stuff, but there's new people to the knife community every day, and I have to tell you, get you a Weehaw bit set. I have a link in the description so you get the right size. It has all the bits you need, and it works as a backup driver. There's a lot of times you'll need 2 drivers. Just saying. I know I used to say that, and I quit saying it. People were like, what bits do you get? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't tell them. And get you some of these, and some doodads, and get you a couple drivers. All that stuff I've got in the description so I don't have to take your time up. Actually, let me get one of these out. So I don't have to take your time up showing you all the stuff. And this bit driver is another thing. Let me get a T8. Is that a T8? Oh, that's a 9. Let me get a T8 out of here, and we'll get right to it. Get to it. So this side, look at that. I think we're going to have a D-shaped pivot. Oh my gosh, I love me some D-shaped pivots. Yeah. And this you can spin. You just have to get the hang of it. But the back will spin. There we go. All right. Did I not take it all the way out? So we have a nice clean looking screw. I don't even see any thread locker on there. Me personally, this is just my personal opinion. I don't usually use thread locker unless it starts to come loose on me. Then I'll put it on there. But I check my screws all the time. So if you don't check your screws all the time, you might want to use some thread locker. So let's take this. We're going to have to take all these. It does have a lot of screws. So I'm going to take them out and put them in one spot so I can keep track. Is that dude coming out? Let's not have any trouble today. No trouble. I don't want trouble. Sometimes, oh my goodness. And you know what? Let's make sure that I put the screws back where they go too. That's always a good thing. I can feel the screw coming out of the other side. Oh, is it spinning on me? It's spinning. I thought I said I didn't want any trouble. No trouble. And it's possible that I should be taking them out from the other side, but we're just going to stick with the clip side for now and see how it works. It is, are we spinning? Yeah, it's coming out this side. Really? Are you going to really do that to me? Oh my gosh. Ah, jeez. Well, is this one going to come out this side too? Let's see what happens here. Okay, it's coming out of this side. So, well, you know what? I'll let y'all learn with me. Hopefully this won't take 6 hours and 42 days to do. But let's take our pocket clip out. And you know what? This'll at least save you the time and the trouble. If you take yours apart to clean it, you won't have to worry about going through this stuff like I did. And those screws don't look like they have any thread locker on them either. Okay, all right. And while I'm thinking about it, don't forget Friday nights, Beez Blades live at the Hive. Oh, right. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We're going to spin. All right, so I put these 2 back in. I'm going to do just what the knife was telling me to do, and I'm going to take them out from the clip side because that's what it wanted to do. It wanted to be, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? See, I should have done this to begin with. So now it's coming out. That's fine. Okay. Beez Blades live at the Hive on Friday nights. Oh, right. All right. Are we going to come out the side that we want to this time? It is wanting to come out the other side, but I'm going to keep going and be persistent and try not to strip anything. And it is being a pain. So somebody's spinning. Let's see. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let me look. Get a little bit of torque. Oh, okay. Now the blade came out. Sorry, I'm having to hold this against my chest. I'm trying to do everything on camera, but it's being a pain. All right, there's that little screw that was causing all the trouble. Gee whiz. All right. Well, here's our blade. There's your blade, and it's pretty nice and clean looking. That screw was definitely a pain in my side, and I still have one in there. Golly. And here is our stop pin. And I'll put the stop pin over here so I don't lose it. And we have a D-shaped pivot. So everything else besides the fact that these screws are wanting to be a pain in the derriere, and it is going to force me to take, look, so, oh, okay, there we go. All right, so that dude is going to stay on there. So hopefully you caught that. So that standoff is going to stay, that back spacer is going to stay in there. Now we can get back to our regularly scheduled program. Wow. All right, so they all can't be that smooth, right? Look at that. Nice big old bearings. Love me some. Those are ceramic, baby. Ceramic ball bearings. And you know, it's not even dirty. I'm going to go ahead and wipe them off. And boy, that was a struggle bus situation there. But that's all right. That's okay. I'll struggle so you don't have to. And that's what it looks like. Really nice and clean. And we get in, you know, it has a little bit of stone wash. Usually the stone wash will, you'll get a little bit off and it'll wear a path in there. But I want to say I really appreciate all you that subscribe, and all the patrons and all the members. You guys are making this journey absolutely awesome. See there where the ball bearings are starting to make a little bitty track. All right, well, there you go. There's your knife apart. Finally, just had a little trouble with the screws. Now we'll see how well or unwell it goes back together. I think getting it back together is going to be easier than it was taking it apart. So this side looks good. This side looks good. And I really do like that it has a D-shaped pivot. That is very nice. Sometimes I worry when it just has that little bitty nub. But yeah, nice and clean. Nice and clean. Now the question is, am I putting this back on the correct side? Oh, gosh. Well, we'll find out. We shall find out. This has already been not the most typical that I would call it. Not the most typical of disassemblies for me, but that's okay. That's all right. You know, sometimes I rush things because, well, you know, I have things I have to do, and depending on when you're watching this, I am in a rush right now, because I am trying to get some videos out because I've got somewhere special to go. But I'm going to use some doodads. Here's some KPL Knife Pivot Lube Original. Get you some original and some heavy at the very least. I'm going to put that on the inside of here. Make it all nice and smooth for those ball bearings. I'm going to put some on this side. And you know, hopefully you all aren't laughing right now. Hopefully I put the pivot in the right side, and hopefully it goes back together well. But you know what? I do enjoy when I screw up. Well, I don't enjoy screwing up, but I do enjoy when you guys get a good laugh out of it. You know, and sometimes I'll watch the videos after I'm making them, and I get a laugh out of myself after the fact, but not always during the fact. All right, so I'm just putting a little bit of KPL around this bad boy. Okay, and guess what? I didn't forget, for all you that are always watching every little detail, and you usually don't miss any details. I'm going to put a drop of KPL in the pivot, or in the, I'm going to just go like this a little bit. I put one drop of KPL. Boy, that's a big old detail hole. And I'm just going to put a little bit out here. It has a big detail hole. This really didn't even need any. The action on this thing is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Put those dudes in there. Nice looking ball bearings. Love me some ball bearings, baby. Put this blade on here, and our stop pin goes right here. I got to remember, not everyone that's watching has, you know, seen a bunch of these videos. You're probably like, oh my gosh, this dude, what is going on? So there's your stop pin. And, oh, so we're going to go like this. Now, see, I don't remember which direction which side the pivot was on. The pretty pivot gets down here. Okay, all right, we have determined. Oh, crack myself up. If I can tell which way the pivot goes. There we go. Got the pivot in. Everything's falling out. Now see, I would probably be better off if I didn't rush. It's always when I'm trying to rush because I have other videos I need to make or something, or it's supper time and I'm trying to get done so we can have supper. I'm probably better off not rushing. And this side has our D shape. That D shape right there is, and I have almost too much lube in there, but that's okay. It'll work for our intents and purposes. But that D shape is going to face straight down in line. And did I put any on that side? Yes, I did. Put those bad boys out. And this thing doesn't even need lube, really. I like using it. It doesn't even need it because the action was so phenomenal just right from the get-go. And hopefully it'll return that way here in just a minute. All right, so we have all our pieces. And I'm going to have to make sure this backspacer or standoff or whatever you want to call it goes back into the right spot. And everybody goes back where everybody goes, and make sure my D shape goes where it goes. All right, let me get my D lined up. You always got to make sure you get your D lined up, you know what I'm saying? All right, so I think we're good on that. I'm going to put this pivot in here, and you see how it's nice and flush. It is nice and clean. So I think the only thing that got me frazzled was just a little bit of razzle dazzle that was going on when I was trying to figure out the screws. So this dude gonna go in here, nice and smooth. Yeah, nice and smooth. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so there's that dude. Now let's hope the rest of these go back in just like they're supposed to. And I kept track of my screws this time. Are you proud of me? I know, I love it. You guys catch every little thing. So this time I remembered the KPL original. I remembered the KPL heavy, and I put them where they go. I'm putting the screws back in the correct spot. Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. And it now, see, it is going back together much, much easier than the little struggle I had. And I know it wasn't that bad, but it's just this middle one is spinning, and it's making me have to use. Luckily, I have this other one, and if I didn't use this, I would use the Weehaw bit set. So I'm just having to hold this dude still with one hand while I come over here on camera and tighten this side. And there we go. It's going back in nicely. There we go. Very nice. Very, very nice. And how's it doing? Ooh, yeah, it's centered right up. Let's put the pocket clip on. Yeah, I didn't forget the pocket clip. So if you're driving right now, I know some folks are driving, some folks are watching with their morning coffee. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And if you're on your way home from work, hey, you're off work. That's a good thing. You guys are like family, and if you're new and you're just watching this and you haven't seen knife videos before, we are a community. You will find that we are just the nicest. We are. The knife community in general is just the nicest bunch of people you'll ever meet. And where you have so much fun on the live streams. It's like Cheers, where everybody knows your name. And you could come to the live stream. You don't have to say anything. You will quickly learn that everyone is just having fun. You know, we'll talk about knives or whatever. You know, food will come up, adulting. My problem here is I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Sometimes if you can't see what you're doing, you can't get it in the hole. You know what I'm saying? It would help if I could... Just the way I've got it positioned, I'm not able to see. There we go. All right, going by feel. So I didn't put any Loctite on these. They didn't have any to begin with. A lot of my knives never need it. Some of the pivots walk, then I'll take it apart, put some on it. So we're centered. How's the action? I've got it a little tight. Let me loosen it up just a tad. Just a little bit. Make sure it's still solid. Still rock solid. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go to the big screen. So first impressions of the Mensae-03Bb by Trivisa. The action, absolutely superb. Love the action. As far as the ergos, that is a kind of a weird spot for me for where my hand falls. Maybe if my hand was bigger, or if I just choke back. and don't grab it with this finger. But doing push cuts, pulling, it's very comfortable. That would be one issue. You don't have a ton of choil. I wouldn't mind a bigger choil, but wow, this thing, just the blade alone makes up for any other thing that I can think of. Just the action is absolutely fantastic, and being able to reverse flick it. And, you know, besides just having to have that one screw where I did one thing and the other, that's nothing. So there were no issues other than just a little foible on my account. But wow, I think for the money, this is definitely worth it. This action is just blowing me away. And I love this blade. So I'm curious what you all think about it. Definitely tell me in the comments. And, you know, if you don't have a comment about it or don't care about the knife and you're just hanging out because you like the knife community or hanging out on Beez Blades, then, you know, I absolutely appreciate it. Tell me what you had for breakfast. Tell me what kind of Pop-Tarts you eat. But until I see you again or talk to you again, remember to live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.